All right, guys, I think I'm live. Yeah, it says 4 seconds up here. So I'm gonna bounce off over here. Get some of this stuff off the screen that I was looking at. Just watched Neo's video briefly about this as well. Saw that old Probstein has basically canceled out Snipe. It's dead. Got going, rolling, hit a bumpy road, fell off the cliff, and blew up. And when it blew up, had a lot of paperwork with it that doesn't look good. But again, you know, hey, what's going on, Pig Six? Yeah, you want a snipe auction my ass. You didn't win nothing. You're getting nothing for your prize, buddy. Might want to check your personal information as well, because at the end of the day, that may be compromised over there. And one of the foreign companies, countries. Hey, Six String, how you doing? But yeah, I mean, I'm very surprised nobody else is going live right now on this other than just popping a video up. This is a big deal for him to just go ahead and just basically drop off and be like, "Hey, we're just gonna go right back to eBay." Because I guarantee half of those auctions that they had listed that they took down, they could probably just restart right back up. So the work is probably already done and it's still sitting there and something that you can easily relist and keep moving. Now, will his deal probably change with eBay? Probably. I mean, we're not going to get that information. If he's smart, he will not say anything more than whatever that propaganda public crap that came out. Basically, stating this is, what we're gonna do. Hey, oopsie doopsie, guys, our bad. Put all this money and time into this company and this thing that we were gonna launch, and it didn't go so well. So we're just gonna go right back to eBay because we know it, and we kind of got to make monies. And yeah, so I'll see y'all a little later, like Wednesday. That's basically how I feel about this. This is a big deal, guys. I mean, there are repercussions so far beyond probably almost anything we've ever seen other than jail time. Which, let's face it, there's some hoppy people that have been in jail, are in jail, have gone to jail, and some that probably should be in jail. And at the end of the day, what this exposes is the unruling nature of what you think is an honest transaction that's going on, and you're getting basically just bid up for more money. Money's the root of all evil, and I'm not going to argue that point at this time and state, because yeah, it can do a lot of good, it can do a lot of bad, but it can turn a lot of people very bad. And when you think you're not going to get caught, or you do something for so long until you do get caught, you have to always look back and figure out how long were you actually doing this for. And Probstein's been on eBay for a long time. So Honey Bunny or Bear or whatever they found in there, that could have been part of the system a long time too. I'd be really interesting if anybody's gone and looked up that name or user profile on eBay to see if it exists. And then if you can track down if they've ever won anything from Probstein, and or purchase or bid on anything from Probstein. And again, these are all allegations. I'm not saying that these things are true, but it does not look good. That's what I'm going to say to this. So if anybody wants to come at me with some legal mumbo jumbo, I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying this looks really, really, really bad. And you can't argue that point because it does. So that's just how it is. It's disgusting. It's sick. It's upsetting. It's stupid. It's all the great things we love about living in the great US of A, and the things that you can get away with. And it just sucks. I know, sight unseen, Carlos. Yeah, I know this is crazy, right? I started like kind of watching it, and just I've been laying in the back. I haven't said anything about this. I haven't made a live or a drive time or anything like that. And it's just like, this is I mean, it's just pissed me off. We've been talking about it. You want to, play devil's advocate, maybe something crazy happened, got hacked, something else could have happened, and then he's just being blamed. That could still be the point at the end of the day. But just from this description of what was said, that was pushed out by Collect, and what, some other people have pushed out now on social media, that was not the proper response if you didn't do anything wrong. At no point he basically say, "Slam on the brakes. I had nothing to do with this. What you're seeing is incorrect." None of that. That was not even a piece of what was written. And that's a huge red flag in my opinion, because anybody that's going to defend somebody, including yourself, the first thing you're going to say is, "I didn't do anything wrong." Or, "If I did do something wrong and didn't protect my website, this isn't me." And that is not the case that's going on right now. So it's looking very, 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 very bad. And, it's sickening, and then tomorrow, I think SCR is going on, and, ooh, boy, they're gonna have a field day with this. It's gonna be bad because I mean, I don't slander people like they do. They got the, the money to back it up and their lawyer friends and stuff like that and all those Rolexes to flash around. I'm rolling usually like a G-Shock right here, so, I mean, I can deflect a bullet. That's about as much as I can do. But it's just like, you know, how can anybody give anything to Probstein to sell moving forward? How does he push this and, erase this situation? I know time heals all wounds, but at the end of the day, you end up with a scar, and then people can ask, "Hey, where'd you get that scar from?" And he's gonna say, "Well, look what I did," and everybody's gonna be like, "Get away from me." That's just how it is. Yeah, Carlos here. Let's bring up thing. I need to learn how to do this chat thing right here. Here we go. This is an extra surprising as Probstein strikes me as a humble man. I even heard of a sheriff once call him a straight shooter. Well, I mean, he's a straight shooter and he's hitting the target pretty damn well at this point, but he messed up. He hit the wrong target. And I just feel like this needs to now really get pushed over the wall. The tide needs to rise. The water really needs to fall. The pressure needs to hit. And the only way that's going to happen is if basically nobody takes him serious on eBay. Like these auctions need to bomb on eBay, which people are not going to do because they want to get a good deal. Anytime they think they're getting a good deal, they're like, I don't really care as long as the card comes in the way it's supposed to because I'm going to make money. And that's just how it's going to be. It's just like, and again, everybody, I can understand. There are people that come into this and get bad things done to them and maybe get outed and they did nothing wrong. I see that we see that plenty of times. You have to go and defend yourself more than you can ever have enough people say, "No, I don't. This isn't a story. Let's move along from this." It's just it's crazy that we have to deal with this type of stuff, and it's just getting to the point now we're seeing more and more of this stuff kind of come out quicker, faster, and people that get slighted at one point they start spilling the beans. Let's see. I'll ask Beckett to be more specific next time. Fair point. Yeah. Again, and I know at least Dr. Beckett's been around the block 57,000 times, and we all know times have changed from the time that we grew up, through growing up, our parents, things that were considered bad, wrong, n today are considered like you're going to jail for like 5 years, versus, whatever. You used to be able to get your butt whipped and nothing will happen to you. Today, you do that and you're an abusive parent and you need to go to jail and they're gonna take your kid from you. So it's like it just that just trickle down effect through all things though. Yeah, hey, what's going on, Mr. Stuke? How you doing? Mr. Ham is live. I mean, this is going on and there's like nowhere to go to talk about it. So I figured at worst I'll fire it up and the 10, 20, 30, maybe 3, 400 of us if we can get in here can go live and talk. And it's just one of those things. It just starts to really just, grind my gears. I just I don't know. Again, I mean, I want to talk cards too and stuff. And while I'm live, might as well stay on. I'll probably try and stay on for like an hour, see where this rolls at. Um, yeah, I hope everybody does stops doing business with him too. I mean, he's got to prove himself innocent right now because of the amount of data that was leaked. And again, there's been no statement that I know of that's been presented to everybody that was selling stuff about their data possibly being breached as well. I mean, from what I know, you have to disclose that to those people pretty quickly. And if you haven't done that and you were really hacked and that's not the data is being manipulated to make you look really like a bad person, which we don't know yet. It just looks very bad right now. I'm going to say that for the lawyers. And it looks bad. Looks bad, but you got to let people know if that happened. We all know there was a data breach. You literally put all this money into a company to start this company up. And one run of it, you straight shut it down. Shut it down. It's like building a car company, building a million cars, then the first three just ran people off the road and killed them on purpose. Well, we got to shut it all down. Yeah, that's probably going to happen, but I guarantee somebody's going to adopt it and change the software and everything will be fine again. There's no changing this. This is what this looks like at least. It's granular, but it's not good at all. All right, look at that. Got Orlando. Orlando, I should see you Friday at the show. I'm not sure if y'all are going there right when it starts up on Friday. I think it's at what 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock is when that starts. I'm gonna try and get off work a little early, get there, do a cards and cases, hang out with y'all. Not sure if y'all are doing dinner anywhere. So if you are, just let me know and I'll be happy to join y'all if I can do that. eBay, the Hotel California. Yeah, I mean, right now, we all come in, but we don't get to leave. That's what it's looking like. But yeah, data breach equals lawsuits, and all that money he earned over those 21 years on eBay, if my calculations are correct, it's anywhere from 9 to 12 million dollars. He gonna need all of it right now, and I don't know what he put into this app, because if he built it properly without having to go through all the dumb stuff that people have done in the past, and he's got somebody smart on it, it doesn't cost as much as it used to. You don't spend millions of dollars to make an app anymore. You build yourself a couple sasses, get yourself a little account online, and you can build that baby right up for yourself for probably a couple grand deep. All right, cool. Yeah, you'll be there by 3. That's awesome. Are you staying in Tampa or are you going back, Orlando? And then the Dr. Beckett thing is, I don't really care about the Dr. Beckett thing at this point. Honestly, I really don't. He's said his piece. He's come back across. He's been out there at least talking about it. And again, to Carlos's point as well, if he just would have just stopped talking about it and kind of got out of its way, it would have just gone away. Especially with the much clout that he's had in the hobby, and how many people love him, and he's a nice guy. Maybe there was he stepped his foot into the wrong pile and gave us an insight of something that was kind of considered, backdoor, just the boys that are at the top that are leading things, and maybe that came out. I don't really know. I bet the dude buys dollar box cards now, so I'm not really concerned about what he's doing now. He might have gave us an insight to something that may have been more of talked about on the backside. And let's face it, there's a lot of people even in the chat that maybe they're talking shit and stuff like that. At the end of the day, they've had somebody be like, "Listen, this thing ends in like an hour. It's worth $500. It's like at buck 50 right now. Can you like hit it a couple times for me?" There's people that do that, and it's not just in cards; it's in just everything in life. If something's gonna have that type of stability, I mean, what's the difference between you having your friend walk up and start talking up a card and then be like, "Oh man," while the guy's looking at it, it's like, "Oh, you gonna buy that?" And then he's holding on to it because now he's creating this mental dilemma, like, "Oh, if I let this go, this dude's gonna buy it and I'm gonna miss out." I've seen this at card shows where I know the 2 people that are doing this. I don't know them. I know them enough that they're friends. And I kind of see this going on, and all I do is laugh and walk away because it's none of my business. And last thing I want to do is get jumped at the show. But that goes on, guys. It just does. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's gone wrong. Bad wrong. Okay, cool. You're staying in Lakeland. Good to hear. But I mean, at this point, from the stuff that y'all have heard and y'all have seen, does anything look good in this situation? Am I missing something? Is there an oversight that I'm just like, oh, maybe I'm playing devil's advocate too much the wrong direction? Because I'm not feeling that way. I'm feeling like I don't even know if he should be on eBay right now, to be honest with you. But I mean, in his mind, he's got to keep the page, the money coming in, the train rolling. I'm not really sure right now, but I mean, even eBay right now has been having their problems, and a lot of people don't like selling on eBay. I've noticed my list that I have my save searches. I think it was 150 save searches, and I have a few things that are saved by literally like name, first name, last name. Let's say Prism, gold, red, blue, green, and I look on my save search list every day now, and I used to have like 20 something things to go through. I don't have that anymore. I have like 7. And it's not like they're like uncommon things. It's just really weird that they're not being listed anymore. So like where's all this stuff going? Is it literally just being eaten up before it even gets onto eBay by the resellers and the repackers? Is it all going to ComC and ComC's not listing it quick enough onto the eBay platform for that little bump in money that they do? I don't really know. But it's getting really weird out here. Really, really weird. Really weird. Yeah, between this and Jimbo, my interview counts have been looking good, and prospects going forward look decent as well. Yeah, no, you're completely right. Really, really right. I think a lot of the stuff too has brought a lot of the hobby together. I mean, Carlos, you can even probably speak to this as well. A lot of people have crossed over a bit more than we have in the past, or a lot more people have reached out to other people to have on the show or shows for more content, more things engaging, maybe a different person with a different personality coming in. I do feel like that's been a lot more of that has been going on. And I credit everybody for that, just kind of getting in the same boat and be like, listen, at the end of the day, we all collect differently. We all like collecting. The hobby's changed so dramatically now that to a lot of us, it's kind of like, yeah, we like our niche still and we're good, but we really can't get into anything too new or and get into these little, games and races of getting product online. It's just kind of becoming really weird. And it's even pushed me out. I love ripping product to the point I've just been ripping old product that I have in the house already. It's like, why go buy something brand new for 3, 4, or 5, $600 just to be disappointed when I can rip something here that I already own at a way less of a cost of any of that stuff, even if I bought it in the last 2 or 3 years and still can hit a hell of a card. So it's like, if that's that, then that's my form of gambling, by the way. I don't go to the casinos and like to play that. I'm a people watcher there. When I collect cards or open up cards, at the end of the day, I always like, oh, I open this, at least I still end up with something. And today, even some of the stuff you open up, you don't end up with nothing. I mean, you're left with nothing. It's horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. I missed that one right there. Hitman right there. How's it going on, Hitman? Hopefully Mattingly can get into the Hall of Fame this year. Yeah. Quack, 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 quack. Black Friday deals. That doesn't really happen for the sports card hobby anymore. I mean, I remember going back in the day when you could go online to a couple of the bigger, retailers and or distributors and get great deals. I mean, that's where I ended up getting like my Mahomes Donruss Optic Mega Boxes way back in the day when they would hit, and they were half off at the time, which was a really big deal because he was hardly already well established. And I bought 3 of those things. Can't They don't even do that stuff anymore. I haven't seen videos of you going to St. Pete, Tampa card shows, everything. Yeah, so what it is this time of year, the shows really thin out for us. The Tampa shows this weekend, and then we have the large December show, and then we have 2 other shows in December. And that's it for the area until next year. Like, there's no Clearwater show the rest of the year. There'll be one more Tampa show, one more St. Pete show, and the really big, show at the very first weekend of December, which I think is the 2nd and 3rd at the Florida State Fairgrounds. And that's where everybody that's at all these shows come together, and then we get some outside influence. So I'm hoping this show picks up a little more steam. You got to be careful around the holidays because people are traveling, people are spending money differently, people are looking for different things, usually sealed wax more than anything, to be honest with you, for gifts. Otherwise, you just have your standard flippers, dealers, the random guy that's really looking for something for himself. But everybody gets really concentrated on very specific things and what they're doing in the near future. So therefore, they don't really put forth the effort. So it's always very interesting having a show up against Thanksgiving and then another show the weekend after that, going into the week of Christmas. And I do know we have a show right after Christmas as well. I think that's the Tampa show, which is the last show of the year. Now, January is a different story. January, February, especially if people are getting tax returns, that's usually when the floor gets put back down on the hobby, and that's where I would like to see uh, the involvement that happens through the group. So it's gonna be really interesting. Yeah, it's motivated. Yep, it's motivated folks to have discussions, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, even if it was a bad reason to start. Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I'm happy to see everybody coming together. To be honest with you, there's a lot of people that can make fun of themselves, have a good time, poke the bear, and not, cry about it like in the past where it's kinda like somebody ran up and punched you and then ran away. Yeah, I mean, Jordans are always gonna be something. The thing is there are so many Jordans to go for. It's like, are you looking for a Jordan that's gonna be rare and always gonna have staying power? Because Jordans will always have staying power, but you know how it is, the elite of the elite, the really rare stuff, the stuff that you can't pull out of a pack anymore because it's going to be stuck to something. And it's a hard insert to pull, I target that stuff. And that's why I really like to look at some of the old stuff that gets ripped to figure out, is it already bricking? Because almost all of that stuff was high gloss bricks bad. Let's see what we got. Yep, looking for deals. I'm just gonna be looking for cards and cases. Last few shows I've been to, I haven't seen one card that I even wanted to buy. How's it going? Let's see, Bob Boole's eBay is doing a great disservice to this platform by letting people in before proper. eBay doesn't care. They're all about money. They really don't care. They know how big this baseball card space. I mean, look at it. If you go to that settings part on your my eBay right now, there's a scan card tool. They didn't put a scan microwave tool, scan your Barbie tool, scan your car, scan your T-shirt tool, scan your card shirt. That's how big cards are to eBay. They're literally making things specifically for them before every other product on the platform. That's crazy. Crazy. Yep, or it's gonna be fun. Just haven't seen Orlando in a minute. Are you gonna be at the fairgrounds on Saturday? I'll probably be there on that one on Saturday. I don't know if I'll make the Friday one there because I mean, my work, I only get like, the main holidays off, being a 24/7 place. But I'll definitely be there probably Saturday. Yeah, well, Hitman should. I mean, why not? Everybody else is gonna be there. Yeah, if y'all are all gonna be there on Sunday, I'll roll with y'all for sure, because that way we have a little cloud of destruction we can run. No, well, no, this Friday and Saturday, but Lou Rock and Orlando is gonna be there this Friday at the Tampa show, which I'll probably be there too. I'm gonna get off work a little early and head over there. So if I'm not there at 3, I'll probably be there around 4. The following Saturday is, yes, is the other show, the big show at the fairgrounds. Just this weekend, next weekend. It's this week in Tampa, next weekend, the one at the fairgrounds, which, yeah, the 5th, whatever. But whatever that first real weekend is in the, December. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday show. Sunday's usually super horrible, to be honest with you. A lot of guys don't even show up. Cloud of Destruction sounds intriguing. Well, I mean, we can have they made a card called Cloud of Destruction? I'm great at coming up with stuff, but every time I do it, I feel like somebody on the other side of the planet has already beaten me to it. Um, but yeah, no, the Probstein thing is just ridiculous. Again, tomorrow with SCR going on, it's going to be a bloodbath, really bad bloodbath, and it's just it's sad that you know I just don't even know how to convince eBay to do it. Other than unless I'm assuming eBay knows. Like, is there any way to know if eBay knows that Probstein? I mean, I'm sure there's got to be a physical conversation with some person that works at eBay for as big as of account it is. I have to assume that. I'm not going to say eBay is that smart because there's a possibility they're not. He's probably talking to a chat bot. Yes, can I go ahead and get my account reinstated? Yes, sir, Mr. Prospein, you can. Thank you for your loyal service for 21 years. I don't know how that works. That's probably what it looks like. Yeah, but yeah, with the whole product, try to get some Topps Chrome. That didn't work. Don't even know why. I feel like I'm just going to do it to see if it happens. I mean, I got that Cactus Jack box right there wrestling, which bombed. I mean, I'm not gonna get $500 for it, so I'm gonna end up opening it because why not? You know, I might hit a banger, maybe hit a one of one, something special, and I'll move along with my life. But yeah, that product had its possibilities, but they tried to run the Cactus Jack outside of the event itself, you know, being Fanatics Fest, and I just don't think it works. And I think that hopefully they learn that, but who knows? Yeah. Oh no, I'm opening it anyway. No worries. I mean, I've been opening One Piece. You see these little One Pieces up here? All right, there. I've been opening that stuff because that stuff, you know, I saw a guy on Chasing Cardboard sold his entire collection just to go into Laffy over at One Piece, and I was like, I have that stuff. I have that stuff. Neil, how about this? I'll go live with you and we can open a product together. You can open something wrestling. We'll go like pack for pack and just for a fun battle or whatever. I don't have a camera set up and I'm not going to play the whole I look at it and flip it around. It drives me nuts when I'm like, open a pack of cards and I'm like, hey, look at this one. And then I'm trying to get the glare right to like make it look at it. I definitely got to have it, you know, set up over the top. Otherwise, I'll drive myself bananas. Yeah. I mean, so I was opening one of these packs and see if I have it here. So, and these you can get, which this is the OP1, which, you know, by the time I got into it, that was already passed. But, you know, I don't know what the odds are to hit these in one of these packs. I've opened like 7 or 8 of them, of those where it has 5 packs in them. And that's the only OP1 that I hit. And that's like a $40-50 pack raw. And if you grade it through PSA, then it goes like 2 to $300 for some stupid reason. Oh, is he? I know Mick's around here all the time. I mean, I can always talk to I work with Shannon Moore, who still wrestles a little bit, and then I'm good friends with Mike Mondo over there as well. Like they all know everybody knows everybody in this stuff, and they all half of them all live in Tampa area. So he's probably not going far, to be honest with you. Yeah, the Ziggy method for sure. For sure. You know, he has his methods where I feel like Ziggy's been really quiet lately. I mean, I hope he's okay. But I since the Professor Sports card thing with Mike Geo, I, I don't know. Maybe he found Jesus. I don't know. Yeah, if you rub the lamp, I always say, "You rub the lamp, he will appear." That used to be the case for, what's the guy's name with the, Michael Jackson's parents are Diana Ross and, shoot, what's the other guy's name? Not Lionel Richie. Oh, that did bad, that horrible hair. Um, Diana Ross and who? Come on, Neil, where are you at? If not, he will appear. That used to be the running joke that I had. What part of like, you in North St. Pete, South St. Pete? You on the water? I like fishing. Yeah, there you go, John Reckoning. Oh, John Reckoning. Man, you wanna talk about potty mouth. He made SCR look like a baby's. Man, nonstop, just scream, yell, spit death. That's what this guy did. It was fantastic. I mean, it was a it was a train wreck, but it was fantastic. But yeah, we know Diana Ross is his mom, and Smokey Robinson is his father. Um, DNA proof coming whenever he can obtain it. I'm sure he's working on it. But, yeah, no, the hobby right now is kinda weird and crazy. I mean, we have really witnessed the rise and fall of a lot of things, especially through COVID, and we've witnessed the complete change of the market this year that we used to see the run up in football, and it didn't happen. And football's been really wonky and weird. And yes, when Tops takes over football, it's going to go crazy bananas, which it should. It definitely should. But even with basketball, what happens year two? What happens when there's not a good draft class? What are they riding on at this point? Because a lot of these guys get hurt so often and or maybe never become who they are because of scandals and social media and things like that. I mean, this the perfect example. This guy right here. This used to be a $500-600 card, and this is honestly probably graded 10. Okay, raw it's like 120 bucks. Graded at 10, it's like 4 or 500, and in 9 it's like 190. So it's like one of those things. It's like I guess I have to send it in because if it gems, which I think it should, it's the upside still there. Even if it's a guy that nobody wants, they'll be like, oh, it's a red, it's optic, it's rare, and Ja Morant might become a straight shooter one day. I don't know. Ooh, Largo, okay. Yeah, Pinellas Point 40. Wow, you're an old timer then. Good for you. I'm born and raised here in South Tampa, so I'm full lifetimer. Oh man. Wonder if Reckoning's I saw Reckoning was doing something not too long ago. I haven't seen anything in a while though. But yeah, again, the Probstein thing, very disappointing. The Dr. Beckett thing, I think like Carlos, like you were saying, it's just gonna die off. You know, it will. That'll just go away. The Probstein thing's gonna hold on a little bit longer than most people think, unless something really wonky comes out, like the government does something with baseball cards. Like we're gonna need a governmental run here, or somebody that really, comes in and shocks the world with a big thing. I don't see that coming this time of year. I think everything's gonna kind of switch gears. Um, Maybe in January, we might see something fly up, but and unless one of these companies have something going on, but I think everybody's straight into, like, Christmas sell vacation mode. That's where we're at. I mean, I noticed it today at work. We were kinda already in this Thanksgiving week. A lot of people aren't at work, a lot of people aren't at school, a lot of people aren't at work the whole day. And that's where we're at right now. So, I mean, I don't unless somebody literally puts their foot out there and says, "Look what I did." I don't see too much stuff coming other than just us talking in circles about it, which is probably what we're going to do because we do a great job at that. A great job at that. Um, the other thing too, just with the whole auctions in general and people being shilled up and other people speaking out against the auction houses a little bit because you read the terms and policies. I know Jeremy Lee has the book coming out. Really surprised to see him come out and do what he did like a week or so ago because he came out and kind of went straight at people that, in the past and or currently are giving him money as as a promoter or whatever. And that's a big deal. I mean, it's because that's coming from a person that at this point is going to be frustrated at what the system could have potentially done to him. And I don't know if there's a way to go back and prove that because God forbid you can go back and prove that that went on. Holy crap. That's just a whole nother can of worms that is going to be rolling into the same thing that Probstein thing went into. And let's face it, guys, there are people out there that can get your information whenever they want. They can hack anything they want. They can probably manipulate the Wayback Machine if they want to, if it's got a ping on that date. If you can pull the data that's stored on the back side of things and it's probably illegal. Like, I'll tell you that, but let's face it, these people don't care, and if somebody's really good at it, they know how to hide themselves. That's what these people do. I mean, come on, you still get people that call you on the phone from another country or, "Hello? Bloop, blah, 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 blah." Yeah, that still happens. So, and that's been going on since, like, what, the '90s, at your house. Come on now. So, obviously, it works to a small percentage of some people, but I don't know. I mean, I've never bought anything in an auction. I've never tried to bid on anything in an auction. I don't like the idea that because I'm buying it from you, I'm supposed to pay this massive upcharge. We don't like upcharges from PSA, but we're willing to accept it from an auction house because they're selling it. We don't have a choice. Well, PSA is grading it. You don't have a choice. That's just how things work. But we like to complain about it, and I like to complain about it. So it's fun. Yeah, seeing a pattern here of auction houses and high-end collectors caring more about money than the hobby or integrity. Correct, because the hobby was always about money. We turned it into a collectability. Like, we really developed that because if nobody was collecting it and nobody really wanted it, then it just kind of fell at the wayside. That's why there's some things that are older that are so rare. There was only a select group of people that were hoarders that were like, I like this. I'm going to keep it because, yeah, you find a lot of the bigger cards were kept to the main players. All the other stuff was trash. I mean, I open a pack of cards now, and let's say I hit a Luca and or a Shea or something like that. I pull those two aside, and the rest of them I throw them in the garbage because there's a billion, zillion, trillion other ones printed. I've tried to go give them to kids somewhere and or donate them, and that doesn't go well, or it's a pain in the butt to even do or find. So I'm like, screw this crap, and shipping anything's $1 billion because of weight. And I saw USPS is getting ready to raise their rates again, so I'm sure eBay's gonna double their rate for shipping. And it's just like, at what point is enough enough? Like, at what point does this start steering us away from what we're attempting to do? I just feel like I keep getting pushed around, and I'm just like not happy about it. Yeah, that's always the best route. That's what I'm here to do, complain and not get fined. Yep, 100%. One. Yep, 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 and yep. I feel like that's a fair assumption. I feel like it's a fair point, and I like it. So that's what I'm here for. I can show a card. Look how horrible this card is. Okay, check out that horrible card. This is a horrible image of Hulk Hogan. Okay, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Does that look like Hollywood Hulk Hogan? It looks like regular Hulk Hogan to me, and it's a flashback. I just feel like I don't know what he's got his thumb in that guy's mouth for. Look at the guy in the background with the hand on the head. That's my favorite part of this. He's like, "Oh my god." That's great. And it says it's, you know, event worn material, but that doesn't mean it was actually used. Yeah, we do get pushed around, kinda like the stock market, you know? Yeah, I feel like there's a trap set right now. We'll go up a little bit right now, show some green, 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 Thanksgiving hit, they're all red. Turkey is burned. And then we just wait for next year. Cards are very indicative of what the regular market does, guys. Because remember, when people don't have expendable money, they don't expendable it on cards. All right. The hobby card market, we're seeing trends where things have actually started selling for less than their last sale. So we're seeing a pullback too. Now, yes, the super rare, super crazy Kevin O'Leary type dumb stuff that's going on, which I believe is a manipulation of the hobby. Which, yeah, you got the money to do it, and you're going to throw the money around like that and play this little let's trick the audience thing. That's what they're gonna do. At the end of the day, he may end up being like a Probstein. I don't really know. But it just seems like it's bad because it looks like it's already being manipulated, which is no different than what we're already dealing with now. So it's like, how do you just get an honest deal? Because at the end of the day, I'm going through a dollar bin and I come across a card that's worth 30 bucks because I know what I'm looking at. I don't go, I'll give you 19 for this one in this dollar bin. I don't do that. I go, I'll give you a dollar. Oh, but you don't change for a five, just keep it. I like the card a lot. And you walk away. So I mean, is that dishonest or is that just getting a deal? Is that because I have the knowledge, it's more valuable to me and I'm not supposed to share that knowledge because it's mine? Like that's everywhere. I don't know what's right or wrong anymore. It's like it's really confusing. I go to yard sales and I'd be like, hey, how much do you want for this fishing reel that I know is worth at least 50, 60 bucks. I'll make 10 bucks. I'll make deal. That's all he wants. He's asking 10 bucks. I'm not going to argue with him because at the end of the day, I've had people that go, I know it's worth more. I don't really care. Just give me this and move on with it because they want cash. And that's fine too. So there's always something you got to deal with. Listen, I'm ready when you are. I know y'all do reservations and stuff, but usually I walk in, I'll get you a table, Mr. Ham. That's how it works. Or we can just schedule one for like if you're coming down like February or March. Yeah, big money guys also don't want their stocks to go down either, or they want to be able to get out when everybody else gets out, and they don't want their expensive, nice car to go down in value, and something to constantly come out and make something more value. And this is why I always say that the rich people are never going to allow stuff to fail. And if you're just following behind them in their shadow in the right way, and you get out right after they get out, for the most part, you're going to do just as well as they are because you're following the money. The same thing in cards can happen, but it goes to a certain point because there's like so many people willing to buy these things. We are a very small niche, very small. And we get these one or two whales that come in. I know there's more than one or two whales. There's probably 1,000 whales in the hobby. But like what do you don't know what they're doing. Unless you know them personally, you do not know what they're doing, what they're thinking. And you do not know the angles they're getting into. I mean, I know some guys that only get into breaks that are over a grand. And I know they go all the way to breaks that are 10 grand a break because they're going to get a $6,000 card at the end of the day. And they're fine with that because they'd rather do that than spend $10,000 of wax and not even hit anywhere near half that number. So I get it. I don't have a problem with that. I just feel like the hobby's being so infected right now by a lot of different versions of what people are attempting to do to make money, even though other people know that it's kind of a scammy type thing, but it's still a fun little jaunt for them, I guess. I just don't find it appealing right now. Like I love new product. I love ripping product. I love design. And all I just see is you don't have to try right now to make money. And you can just print to make money. And it's so easy. So it's like, why try, I guess? But it's like the companies that do try, they have no stake in the game. They have no foot in the door to try and get themselves in to have anybody even have 2 cents or care. It just sucks. That's just where we're at right now. Doesn't mean it's not gonna get better. My pot professor has a crazy video today on wild sales of base King Griffey Jr. PSAs beyond. And listen, you can go and pull up sales on the dumbest shit that's wild because eBay, some guys pays a bunch of money supposedly, and it's considered a sale. This is where they have such a big problem with getting accurate comps, and this is where I'm very interested to see with that new eBay app, does it weed that stuff out? Because a few things I've looked at on there, I haven't seen anything that's like a crazy sale like that, that really pulls a hard line up and then it drops back down to the base normal value. PSA 10s are always going to be coveted, and then people are trying to master collect Griffey or Jordan right now, or other characters or players like that. It's that's the game, that's the game. How you doing, Hanoi? Yeah, Burns is great. Great, 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 great. Yeah, no, and John, thank you too for what you've been doing and putting stuff out there and also, trying to continually, show some cards and some different stuff. And it's just like, you know, there's still a hobby, there's still a collection, there's still a niche in this, there's still something fun to do. Um, we're just at this point now where we're all trying to kind of look around and go, do I need that? That's worth how much? I don't I can get a lower grade and make $100,000 and still be happy with my card? Oh boy, I might have to do this. That's where we're at right now. We're at the point of it's like, okay, it's gotten a little too out of control too fast. Maybe we need to sell. Again, like the stock market, Nvidia going up 250,000% or whatever it is, and they draw back. And it's just like, yeah, I had to take some profits at some point. Pop's answer to kabooms right now, I think it's home field advantage or to downtowns. They're all stupid, okay? The at least the home field advantage is garbage. It is literally a foil card. Okay, at least the Kaboom had some fun paper. The downtowns that got horrible, and the new Kabooms with the cartoonish look again, trying to go back to the original, stupid, dumb, stupid, dumb, 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 stupid, dumb. Okay, it looks like they put a sticker on top of the damn Kaboom paper. I do not like it, and that's like they have a Mike Evans one. I don't want it. It's garbage. That's not Mike Evans. It's cartoon Mike Evans. That's like me going and buying the Nickelodeon version of Mike Evans. No, thank you. Move along. Yeah, well, I mean, Topps now is printing money. I mean, my main entire thing, if I was Topps right now, I would be Topps nowing everything, even if it's not card related. Everything, everything. You get to print onto demand. They have a little printer probably they bought off of Amazon. They just click the little button, they run the little cardboard paper through it, just like Panini would do when they're doing Panini Instant over there at the rookie sessions that they do when the players first come out. They literally have a Canon printer sitting there printing out 9 cards on a sheet of paper. They take it over to the little cutter thing, and then they have them sign it. That is your card. That's how easy it is. It probably costs them about 12 cents. And then they sell all these cards and put them in packs for hundreds, tens of 20 to $30 or more. It's so easy. It is so easy. God forbid you made something cool where we actually like care. Yeah, there's plenty of values in both in the stock market and cars just can't go the mainstream routes. Yeah, because they've already been taken over. They're controlled. Stock market's controlled too. It's a big game. Nobody sells out of hundreds of millions of billions of something at the exact same time at every single stock in the stock market. It's an algorithm based thing. It's done by a computer. There's no human doing anything. That's why when the AMC and the GameStop thing happened, it was pissing everybody off because it's flipping the computers out, and they were starting to either sell, buy, create shorts, or take different directions on trying to make profits on this based on data that was coming in too quick because it was being manipulated. And they were just trying to prove a point that you can manipulate it. I can manipulate it too. There's just not enough of that going on to make it feel like it get regulated. Let's see what's here. The wife is texting me. Let's see what this is about. Uh, very, very important conversation about the wine for the week. Um, yeah, it's just Tyrone Square Mall there. That's a throwback right there. It's like saying Tampa Bay Mall. Graduate from Boca Ciega Bay '04. Live outside Orlando right now. Yep. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I put the shows out there for hopefully anybody that doesn't get to a show and look at cards. Part of it too is I'm creating an archive of the time and the value. That's why I really like to show cards that have prices on them. Is because a lot of that stuff, maybe in the future, you're gonna look back and go, that card was only 10 grand. Look at it now, it's $150,000. Or you're gonna be like, that card was 10 grand. I bought it for 250 bucks. Both of those directions can actually happen. That's the messed up part of how far we've gone up, back down, back up, and potentially back down on specific things, which is pretty much 98% of the hobby. Kenny G, love me some Kenny G. I heard someone the other day. I think I heard Kenny G. It was like on a awards ceremony. They whipped him out with a rapper or something. It wasn't bad. He still has it. He's still got that nice comb over with the curly hair. Um, I want to see some David Copperfield. I'd like to see David Copperfield at a card show, see what he could pull off because I'd like to see him make a case disappear. That what was that? What's the guy that has all the Jordans? Make that case disappear. Oh, I'd love my life. Let's see here what we got. I think more than likely we look back at all these prices as insane. The bubble pop is coming. Yeah, I mean, I think currently there's somebody's already put a hole in it and it's just not bursting. It's just making that loud squealy noise where you take it and kind of, squeal it out. It's just not high pitch enough yet for all of us to hear it. But a lot of us see it and hear it. And that's why we're kind of starting to back away a little bit from very specific things. I think they're going to find that a lot of this other product that they usually build on the in betweens doesn't have the amount of demand that they think. And we're also going to see, like with Topps Chrome basketball, going and they're like, oh, well, the market's saying this. I don't know anybody personally that's bought a Topps Chrome jumbo on the secondary market for over a grand. I don't know. I'm not saying they don't exist. There are people that have a bunch of money. They don't care about trying to get an EQLs. They're just going to buy it for whatever to do it. Okay. But the regular person that usually likes to buy product, I do not see them buying that product at that price. I think that the breakers do it. I think all the whatnot guys do it. I think all the guys on these other streams, whether it's a Facebook stream or not, they'll go out and buy it because they have to have it to keep their audience engaged. And there's a lot more of those people than you think. A lot. Even if they do it as a side job and it's not a full-time job and they only target certain product. This is a product you have to target. Okay. You have to target. Even if it's $1,000, those people will still be there on a break for was like 30 something teams, break it out, and they'll be happy to do it because it's a quick one-time thing. That's why like I'll go into a single box break, not a case, because I'm not gonna go throw $700 at a random team for a case break and then end up with some crappy team that even if I get colored cards or a one of one, it still doesn't even cover the price. Doesn't make sense. That's the thing is like you're buying a product that the return on investment doesn't exist. It's either you're way at the top, you're rarely ever in the middle, otherwise you are just below dirt. You're with the worms, living with the worms. But yeah, no, I was a little upset seeing that. I just hadn't said anything. I hadn't put a video out. I figured I'd go live, kind of see where this takes us. Yeah, random teams, crazy stuff. I mean, there's product that it's even worse than that. And it's random player. The serial number stuff drives me nuts. Um, and then there's other types of breaks that you need a calculator and a spreadsheet with an instruction guide just to figure out what the hell you're actually getting when you get into it. I did used to really like when people do full set breaks and you could buy spots. Let's say there's somebody's older product that have 500 cards in a set. Somebody gets their hands on a graded set that has mantles and Clementes and Willie Mays and stuff like that in them. And you go in as a single price for a spot, and then that spot gets randomized, and every card in the set gets randomized, and then they match it up your name with that spot. I like doing that. That I'll pay a little bit more up for, knowing there's that chance, even though it's still a long shot. I know I'm getting a card. I know I'm getting a graded card, and I'm getting a graded card out of something that I kind of already enjoy. I do like that. You just don't hardly ever see it anymore. You don't see set breaks at auctions on people's sites anymore. I know it used to be a big thing on Blowout from time to time where you could get into one of those. I just don't see them, and it's maybe I'm not looking as much. I just don't see it. I'd like to see more of it. Yeah, for a random team, it is crazy. It is a crazy times. Anybody want to talk about anything else? Again, like I said, I was opening some of that One Piece. Get a few cards in the One Piece. I know y'all don't care about One Piece. Oh, here's a fun one that I'll show you real quick. This is just older Shaquille O'Neal stuff right here. All right, so I have two Shaquille O'Neal Skybox Premium Game Used Jersey cards from the Lakers. All right, there's that one. And here's this one. Ooh, look at that, purple and yellow. Well, the funny part is the purple one's numbered to 399, and or the yellow, sorry, and then the purple one's numbered out of 50. This card is about $12 because of the serial number on the back of this one. This one's $40. It's pretty much outside the color. It's the same damn thing. That's the stuff that drives me nuts. Even back then, the only difference is back then you can actually hit that stuff. Today, a lot of that stuff is not game worn, game used, serial numbered, looks nice. None of that stuff. None of that stuff. I still think Shaquille O'Neal is extremely underrated. He's still undervalued, and I'm kind of waiting for that to kind of run up because I mean, if you think about even some of the Jordan stuff that's out there, it's not rare. Um, Maybe rare in high grades, but not rare, and it still sells for quite a bit of money. And I know Jordan, greatest of all time, blah 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 blah. But Shaquille O'Neal was a force to be had, and he was unlike anything else we had seen at the time. Yes, go look for set breaks if you can find them. They're fun. I really like them. I also like the guys. There's a place down in I think Boca or Palm Beach down here. Can't think of the name of the company. They break graded product. It's expensive to get into because it's per card, and there's only like 16 slots, 12 slots based on how many cards are in the product. But they'll take like a 1956 cello pack. You have to pay per spot. They randomize it, and then when they open the pack live, he's opening it and showing you each card individually. Though what's nice too is if you do hit JRI is what it's called. If you do hit a really nice card that looks centered and stuff, they will grade it for free at their own cost. Yeah, no, you can't. Now the retail used to be fun. Retail now, I'm not paying $40 for a blaster box, opening up 6 to 9 packs, and they're trying to ooh and awe me with like 3 silver refractors and a pink thingy, and then a fake jersey card. I just don't. I mean, no, you're looking for like a super hit. What's nice about tops, at least you can still hit very hard things. Almost everything's in the product. That is what I do like about tops. And every once in a while we see these stories that some dude hits some crazy one of one out of a blaster box from Target or Walmart or their Myers or bookstore, whatever it may be. It still happens. So the lottery ticket scratch off thing is still out there, but not at $40. a blaster, 60 to $80 a mega, 350, $400 for a hobby box. I understand that's where we're at, but we're at that point because of breaking. We're not at that point because of just regular people. And I just kind of get that the I just I get mad when I see that they're like, well, the market is stating this is what it's worth. I'm part of the market. I am stating it is not what it's worth because I'm not buying it. The other people that are doing it for a job or living are buying it more than the people that just want to open it. Like I can almost guarantee that. I bet $100 bill on that right now. Bam. Probably gonna owe Dustin 20 here shortly anyway, with his Arch Manning in the first round thing in 2017, 2027. Sorry. No, John Gruden doesn't need to leave his house. He's making a lot of money. I don't know if you ever watch his YouTube. He gets stuff freely delivered to him all day long to the point that he doesn't know what to do with half this crap that they're giving to him. And it's all very valuable stuff. He's living his best life. He's getting payday from the law or the lawsuit. And why go frustrate yourself coaching? The dude's enjoying eating his chicken wings at Hooters, drinking his beer, going and being like the darling everywhere he goes, getting invited to places. Like, why would you go put yourself in that situation? Bad. Yeah. Bonkers was going just set breaks. Yeah. Just so hard to find them anymore. I really enjoyed doing those. I had a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, I know they've put a golden ticket and stuff in the past, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen again. But we're at a really unique point right now because of Tops taking all this stuff over. Does Tops come out with any brand new product? Do they have something up their sleeve that they can really build out as something first time, kind of like when Panini did Mosaic out of nowhere? Um, can they stay caught up to the league? Because one of the biggest things too is like draft class happens, sports starts, we have no real product for anybody. And I don't like that. I mean, Upper Deck's still behind on their product, and it's disappointing when you can't get into the product and speculate on players going into the season. And you can speculate on people that have already been in the season, but like look how football is. You don't even know who's going to be healthy or not healthy every 5 minutes of the game. And at some point who's going to start and then what player is going to get the ball more. Like the manipulation right now in sports, especially football, has become really crazy, like really crazy. And I was hoping or thinking that majority of the ups and downs were going to only be in the middle of the season. There was going to be no pump like we saw the year before. Again, this year we didn't see the pump. We went to the national. People weren't like, I need all these Jaden Daniels. I need this quarterback. Nobody was doing that. We were all just looking for different things. And that just told me at that point that the hobby was now taking a hard turn. It was shifting. It caught on. It said, whoa. We've seen this the last couple of years. We're not going to play that game this year. Unless we're like all 100% on somebody, we're not going to play that game because we all see it. The rookie comes out, does really well. Next year, not so well, potentially gets hurt. Rarely does a guy put together 2 seasons back to back the same and or same and better. It's usually same worse or same worse. That's basically usually how it is. They're not. No, no. We would like to. Everybody would like to have John Gruden, but I'm gonna tell you this: John Gruden's a very tough coach. When John Gruden came into Tampa, he had that thing built. He just took it to the next level. Prior to that, Gruden hasn't really built anything. So again, great X's and O's guy, great guy behind the mic, talking about a game, showing you some game footage, showing you some plays. I don't think he's a good coach. The system that he brings in and the complication is ridiculous. Again, all these rookie quarterbacks come in. Why do they do so well? It's a dumbed down version of the system. As soon as they start to ramp it up, and now they got to play more games where they're being confused with defenses and all this other. Hey, if this guy hitches left, he's not going to go out; he's going to go in, and you got to do that for 5 receivers on the field for one play for one time, and then over and over again. Yeah, you're not going to do as well. That's just what is going to happen. Now you're 6 and 7, where now it's now like cakework. That's why we see all these quarterbacks that do so well so late in their career is because they know it so well already. It is same thing with pitchers. An old pitcher, he don't need to look at you coming up. He knows who he's playing already. He's like, I already know how to pitch this guy. I've thrown to him 30, 40 times in his career. I know him. We're at the point now that these guys that are really good don't have to necessarily be the strongest guy anymore. They just need to be the smartest. And that's where we're at in a lot of these sports. Fleer Metal is Upper Deck. That's why we're getting the Metal Universe stuff for and the only thing they can come out with Fleer products is hockey. And they do the Fleer Metal and hockey. They just can't do it. I would love to see some crossover branding. Never going to probably happen. Where you can see an IP crossover just for a sport. I would love to see like if Upper Deck say, "Hey, we'd really like to make a single football product this year. What can we do to get the license for one product?" I don't think they would allow them to do it. I think that's just stepping in too much mud. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the thing that sucks about the Fleer Metal now, like PMGs back in the day versus now, completely different card. It's kind of like the SPX cards and stuff like that too, where they try to bring that foiling back, and it's like, how did you forget how to do this? How did this become harder to do? I don't get it. They were working so hard to do it back then, and they did such a great job. Die cuts. Remember die cuts where it's like a glove and there's holes in all the glove and all this, like the die cuts inside of a die cut that has a refractor and a holofoil and an atomic fractor, and it's all on one card. And like today, they're like, well, they can't figure that out. I'm like, okay, this is why they built the pyramids back then, and we can't figure it out today. The only difference is this is only like 20 years ago. Yeah, no, I love Fleer Metal. I mean, it's Fleer Metal baseball, all that. I that generation, like the 3 or 4 years of Fleer Metal, in the late '90s is some of the best cards from an aesthetic standpoint that I enjoy because it just clashes like action, art, design, appeal. You can look at the card and kind of keep staring at it. Today, I look at the card, I'm like, oh, cool card, move along. Just not. They're not doing it justice anymore. Yeah, Upper Deck has it. It's just they just came out with the Fleer Metal, Batman. Yeah, they said it was just a sprain, but man, when you're walking around the way he was and sitting down like that, I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than a sprain and they're just gonna shoot him up. They just need him to heal up a little bit. Yeah, no, the innovation in the '90s and early 2000s is completely just they don't care. I mean, I want them to care, but when they do come out with it or try to mimic it, they don't even do it at a good job. Like they do it half-ass. Or they're just cheap about it. And it's like they're making so much money. And they're like, oh, well, Fanatics paid all this money. No, they made so much money. I don't even know how much money they've made, and or I don't remember how much they paid for it. But I'm pretty sure I feel like they could have paid it off by now, because they don't even seem to care about the clothing aspect of it anymore. And then they want to get into the gambling aspect, like the pure gambling aspect of it, to just be a sports book. That's endless free money. That's why people want to get into it. You know, it's just it's not headed in the right it's not headed in the right direction, and I feel bad for some of the kids that are getting into this at this high of a level, because I do think if this market turns hard enough, it's gonna push them hard out, real hard out, and that's when you may end up more into the Pokemons, the One Pieces, go look at, video games or the collectibles, those things are still gonna stay more popular than cards in certain aspects, because you don't have to have a sealed version of it, um, to still enjoy it, and that's what makes it nice, and it's affordable. Some of the stuff today is not affordable. You can't get yourself nobody's gonna buy a raw Mickey Mantle 52 right now, and just they're just all gonna assume it's fake. It's just like, I don't care if it's cut in half. They're like, "Oh, that one right there. You're not taking my $4,000." 'Cause that's basically where we're at. Um, but yeah, I don't know, man. I just have a hard time right now in the hobby, and I want to enjoy it. And it's like when I go to the shows, you just see all the same crap. And I'm gonna maybe upset some people here. Even in vintage, I see a lot of the same stuff. And usually in my videos, if I see something I usually don't see, or I know something that's a higher grade, I'll definitely point that out. But like, how many times can I look at every card that's already been around for 60, 70, 80, 120 years? And it's maybe because I don't have the vintage gene quite built up into me yet to where I look at it and just kind of ooh and ah at the card. I do love it. I love the history. There's certain things I greatly care about it. And then there's just a whole bunch of it is just like back then I could see you just looking at, a whole bunch of cards in the case too. It's just really weird, and I have a massive diversity that I get to watch here and look at in Florida, a lot more than I think a lot of other places do. Yeah, no, we have great value boxes. What's nice about down here is if somebody gets a really good deal on like a big, huge lot and estate, they'll go through it to the best of their ability and pull out some of the big, big stuff. But like all the stuff that ends up being $5 or $10, they blow it out. Like the $5 to $10 stuff you'll find in a you know $3 box 2 for $5, and it'll be boxes that contain 3 to 5,000 cards because they got into a big enough group. So, and that's where it's knowing certain dealers or vendors and knowing what they bring to the table and what they usually do and how they source their cards, because those people, you can depend on a good deal, find something super rare and something maybe you haven't seen in a long time, and really get to enjoy stuff. I mean, that's what happens to me. Here's a perfect example here. I loved these cards. I still love these cards. These are the 2000 SPX football cards. The biggest card in here is Brian Urlacher because Tom Brady did not have one of these. He has an SPX card, but not one of these. And then to buy this product because of Tom Brady, good luck. And what's funny is that this isn't super hard to come up with. This design, it's not hard. They've never redone this design for another set that I know of, another sport, anything. It can be done so easily. Add some more flash on it. Great looking card. Like, how hard is it? It already exists. You're good at making stuff up off of something that already exists. You just usually give us a crappier version of it. But mm, all right, now I'm back. I bought my mic. But the new flagship with the golden mirrors, I haven't seen great looking golden mirrors out of this. Nothing like they do in baseball. The golden mirrors, yeah, I did mute myself. The golden mirrors in basketball, not good. Not good at all. I don't like them. They just don't look the same as like they do in baseball. I don't know why, and I feel like they have enough photography, they should be able to get some really crazy images, and I just feel like they got lazy. They just tried to spit this thing out as fast as possible, and voila, here we are. I just haven't seen a golden mirror out of basketball that really looks cool. Like here's the, Ellie that I have, okay? Massive condition sensitive. You can see my top edges aren't the greatest, but that's a cool card. Cool card. Hey, what's going on, AIH? See, you've been out there popping out a little bit more. You've had some more stuff to run up and talk about, I see. But yeah, no, what Probstein, and I know you weren't here for the beginning of it, I don't think, AI H. Yeah, what Probstein's doing or has been done and looked like it's been caught has been despicable. eBay allowing him back on, honestly, I think it's despicable. And we're just at a standpoint that money talks, and that's where we're at. Unfortunately, again, tomorrow's SCR video or live chat is going to be probably pretty juicy. And I'm sure there's going to be other videos and other people are going to come out right up against this and say the same thing. I mean, there's nothing that should good come out of this unless he can prove that he didn't do anything wrong and none of that's him. But he didn't even mention that in the statement. Like, how do you not mention that? That's like the biggest part of it. We don't care that your little snipe thingy's over because you shut it down after one go. It's more of the fact that you got potentially caught doing something that's illegal, not even just wrong, illegal. And you're just kind of like, nothing to see here. I'm gonna go back to eBay. Well, everything's good. Bye bye. Are you kidding me? All right, it's just crazy. All right, I think everybody that popped in here, anybody that's still on, I'm gonna go jump around. I'll see what else is going on out there in the wide world of YouTube. I appreciate everybody for coming here and leaving some comments, and I'll catch y'all later. See you.